Do you ever wonder, during all of the busyness and foo-fa-ra and hullabaloo of the Christmas season, if anybody actually understands the true meaning, what the season is all about? People celebrate frenetically and seem to have very little clue about this so-called true meaning. This phenomenon may not be that new. Think about it. There is little evidence in the Bible that most of the characters that experienced the events of the first Christmas really understood what was going on around them. The residents of Bethlehem could have had a front row seat to one of the most amazing things still celebrated worldwide 2,000 years later. They were there. The residents at the inn where Mary and Joseph sought refuge, they could have seen the birth of the Messiah, but they were clueless. The intelligentsia of Israel, who claimed that they were awaiting the Messiah for centuries, and he was being born 6 miles away. Bethlehem is only 6 miles from the Temple Mount. It's like downtown Sioux City. They could have walked there easily, and they had no clue. They were oblivious to what God was doing. And then, of course, there is the perennial question, Mary, did you know? The answer to that is, for the most part, yes. She knew a lot. She knew her son was the Savior, the Messiah, the Son of God. But there's probably a lot she didn't understand. The shepherds, well, they rejoiced at the angel's announcement, and they went and saw the baby. But what happened next? It'll be heaven before we'll know that. Did they continue to go worship the baby? Were their lives changed? Or was this just sort of a blip on the radar screen, and then they just went back to their dull lives on the shepherd's fields outside of Bethlehem? Who knows? We'll never know until we see Jesus. The Magi, well, they journeyed and they paid homage to the young boy, gave him gifts. He was probably, by the time they showed up, he was probably crawling, maybe even walking by the time they got there. And they bowed low to Jesus, and they gave him their gifts, and they acknowledged him as the one who had been born King of the Jews. Did they understand the nature of Jesus' kingdom? Isn't it more likely that they probably thought they were honoring the next great political ruler of Israel rather than God incarnate? Again, another mystery we'll never know the answer to. Did anyone other than Mary, perhaps Joseph, have any real understanding of who Jesus was, or what we call the real meaning of Christmas? I'm going to offer a suggestion today about a man who understood Christmas, and I suspect you're not going to like it. I suspect I'm going to rankle and offend a little bit. But I think there was a person who understood Christmas almost as well as Mary did, and he demonstrated it. When I say this, I might give you a hint. He demonstrated his understanding of Christmas by his evil actions, just like he did, just like Mary did, her loyal service to God. I ask you to hear me out before you pick up stones to stone me.